Hey, on this episode of Chicago Beer Pass, Nick and I are drinking some Maude from Whiner as we do some throwback conversations as we get saved by the bell and talk about uppers and downers and the dark side, and then we get into some new beer releases that are coming out from Half Acre. All that and more on this episode. Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, the cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milkshake wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
You should have never been a fad. The black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski,
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
and we're getting down with a brewery we haven't got down with for a while.
It's been a while, man. We were talking about uppers and downers in the pregame, and I think uppers and downers a couple years ago might have been the last time I had this crew, man.
Oh yeah, they usually come out. We're talking about Whiner.
Yes.
If you're not just watching the video, yeah, they usually come out with some fun coffee collaborations because they have their own roast. They're basically owners in four-letter word.
Four-letter word coffee down there in the plant in the back of the yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a funny name for a neighborhood.
But four-letter word is right over in, or they have one in Logan and Avondale area.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Over not far from like where Fat Rice was.
Yeah. I want to say co-founders over there are the guy that left Goose Island's barrel program.
Mm-hmm.
His name escapes me.
And then Rhea.
And then Rhea, who was she was at Bangers and Lace, I think.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Brian Taylor. That feels right.
That's right. That's
All right,
it.
Cool.
We got there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. So what we're drinking, though, is their Maude. And it is a blended barrel-aged Flanders red ale. I saw this, and the can is awesome.
Yeah, it's kooky, man.
And then I haven't had a Flanders in, I don't even know when.
I haven't had an old Bruin since maybe like Rodenbach.
Yeah.
Maybe like 5 years ago or something.
Yeah, back when I was a wee young chap. So that it's a blended barrel age. I don't know if that's just like their Flanders was in different barrels, so it's a blend of their barrels. That probably makes the most sense.
Yeah, because it could have been two different types of barrels. I'm looking at an ABV on here. Oh, there it is. 5.5.
5.5, yeah.
Yeah. So it could just be because kind of how Sophie is. Sophie's a wine barrel aged saison, but it's only partially wine barrel aged. It's not 100% wine barrel aged.
Okay.
So it could be that.
Does it say blend on there?
It's a good question.
But I don't know. This is it's nice. It's like it's different than what we've been drinking for the past year and a half, basically.
Yeah, the old Bruin or the Flanders Red. I feel like I talk about this a lot, but it's the Sour Patch Kid, not the melted, but the Sour Patch Kid after you get past the sour, that feeling.
Yeah.
It gives you those vibes. Yeah, so I'm getting some of those here, and then I'm getting a lot of like wine character here.
And it's like just the right amount of like pucker sour flavor that is refreshing, but doesn't make you like, dry out your mouth and make you like trying to like think about it and chew it.
Yeah, and then the 5.5% gives you a chance to really just, get some big sips, and just really dig in there. This is something. Winer's labels are always something. With like usually you want to say like cats, right? Meow. There's one. I don't know what's going on here. There's a one-eyed lady in a hat and a barrel holding a crow.
Yep. The last one I remember having from them, and I think we had on the show, was fast food. And it was like a blue can with like cats racing, I think.
Yeah. One of the most interesting breweries in the city, really. Always fun to get around to them, but then they're south. So you don't really get to them as much as you want. But when you are south, it's
It's your only option.
between them and Mars. If you're between them and Mars, you're good to go. If you're in anywhere but just south of downtown.
Yeah.
So I would say between downtown and Hyde Park. If you're anywhere over there,
You got to hit them up.
you're good to go. If you just hit up those two, you're good to go.
Right. And I'm sure they did fairly well in the last year because they probably didn't rely on foot traffic that much. Like, I typically only ever pick their beer up at the store. So.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know. This one's fun. It's kind of it's delightful to
I agree.
revisit this.
It's because all shit. What if it's not hop forward? We usually end up in like the lager pilsner phase,
Right.
which I'm good with,
or stouts.
or stouts. Yeah, but this is neither. So it's like, hey,
Nice, yeah.
it's just a reminder of what beer can be.
And then you started talking about some of our things that were happening last year around this time, and we realized that uppers and downers, as well as dark side, would have happened either this coming weekend or the previous weekend. It was like the 26th, I think you said.
Yeah, that little lull in the calendar right after the Super Bowl, but before Patty's Day.
And then the only thing after that was a week later was night of the Day of the Living Ales.
That was like that's kind of like a late winter party.
Yeah, so that was like that first week in March. And so even at uppers and downers, I was kind of aware of COVID and was like, I don't know if I want to be sticking my glass on the glass rinsers that everyone shares.
Oh, shit.
I was like a little reluctant there. I did it.
Uppers and Downers was really the last party, right?
And you didn't go.
I was like, nah, man, I think I'm going to sit this one out. Yeah. I was like,
That was a mistake. That was your last
that was the last one. I fucked it up.
If you would have known that was your last one, would you have gone? You would have went to both, right?
Oh, because looking back on it, a full year later, I'd have went,
Yeah.
But, no, there's no but. I would have gone.
Yeah. They were like, this is it. You're not going to go to another beer fest for over a year.
Over a year. That's hardcore. Yeah. Those are always not competing. Well, sometimes they're competing events. Sometimes they're on the same weekend. But most of the time they were back-to-back weekends in February. So always look forward to those. And usually we have those guys both on the show.
I know.
Which was also pretty fun because they either bring in some shit or, talk about some beer that we hadn't made it around to. That was good. And also on the spectrum of this week in beer, from a historical standpoint, right? The Goose Island Class of '88 Saved by the Bell dinner was this week. You were at this thing, right?
I was at one of them,
Yeah.
but not last year.
Nah, this was 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This was February 27, 2017. So, like 4 years ago. Is that 4 years ago? That sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah. Wicker Park. And that weird pop-up spot, a couple doors down from Peace, where they did a Saved by the Bell tribute pop-up for like a couple months.
It was a weird beer dinner, but old man John Hall was there.
Yeah, and I think John Hall was there and Greg Hall was there.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I've been, but there are very few events where I saw both of them there. And, I think, there's rumblings that maybe they don't really like doing these things together. But that's the first time I saw them together. The story of Paris Jacques came out, all the typical classic Goose. Goose has an insane catalog of beer,
So their show just going to become memories. beer memories. Back in my day, we had beer dinners.
Yeah.
That was a good time. The whole concept was just weird.
Yeah,
I
a little
guess.
bit.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a stretch. Well, the show was around in '88, and then they're sharing memories of the class of '88, which is the class of '88 is like we're talking Brooklyn Brewery, Great Lakes,
The Shoots.
Goose, Bells, like
Someone else big
we're missing somebody, but all the regional players now, a lot of them started in '88.
Yeah.
So. That was the significance of the class of '88.
And why Saved by the Bell popped then, I don't know, especially There was like the remake that they did. They did a Saved
They
by,
did a remake?
They did a Saved by Bell, like new class or new people. It was all right.
It's never as good as the first time, Brad.
That show was bad. That show was real bad.
This week, what else happened in This Week in Beer? A year ago this week, and we'll probably wrap it here with the This Week in Beer shit. The Northman closed. The cider bar a couple doors down from Half Acre, the original Half Acre.
Okay.
That closed this week.
So on the Goose Island thing, I was looking on their website, and I sent you this link too. They have a special Bourbon County basically set you can buy. It's $70. I didn't get this. I want it, but I don't know if I want it for $70. But I want to try it. But you basically get to try Bourbon County Stout in each one of the different barrels.
Yeah, because this is the first time where they took OG and separated it by. So there were variants of OG.
Yeah.
And you had to look at like the date code and find out the abbreviation and see which one you had.
Yeah, I want that. So
We could probably.
I'm very torn on this.
I hear you. We could probably pull together all the variants though. We could pull together the mixed, and then I think there's only 3 variants. There's Wild Turkey, Buffalo Trace, and Heaven Hill, as far as I know.
Okay.
So those 3 plus the blended one.
Yeah.
And then just try them all. I'm sure we can do this without
buying their thing.
That's a ridiculous price.
I don't know how many you got in it. Was it 6? Like, was it 2 of each?
Oh.
Like, I don't know. I forget. And it looked like you came in like a cool little box. Because I wanted to go there and get some of those like double hazes that we were talking about last week. Because the cans, they look just as awesome as this Maude. And I was like, well, for pictures, this looks great.
For pictures, and then what if it's good?
Yeah, what if it is good?
It might be good. I mean, because honestly, we like Goose. But once you get past the sisters, right, and once you get past BCS, and then Matilda and Sophie, a lot of the stuff that comes out of Fulton, it just kind of comes and goes. I think there's some exceptions to that.
Yeah, that Sox Golden Ale
Sox Golden Ale
is good.
I enjoy that.
That
Killer can, probably the greatest can ever. But
even
they
better
don't.
than the Frank Thomas beer can.
Frank Thomas beer was not good. I'm a huge fan
But
of
great can. Big hit. Was that
the Big Hurt.
Big Hurt?
Yeah, Wild Onion started.
Name of the beer?
Because that's his nickname. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wild Onion was making it, and before that, they made it up in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Either one, just. I mean, come on. You're the greatest White Sox ever, but all this other stuff. Maybe the wine's better. He's got a Big Hurt wine. Maybe that's better. Probably not. Probably not. I said we were done with the This Week
Memories?
in Beer memories thing. This week in 2017, also, Blue Point made their launch in Chicago.
Oh, speaking of Goose Island, how's that going, Blue Point?
So
have one. I probably had one Blue Point beer. I know more about them because our buddy Ken Hanemeter's wife, she used to work for Blue Point before she came over to Goose Island.
And I want to say that the current president, Todd Ashman, I want to say he was over at Blue Point.
Yeah.
As a member of leadership, and then came over because he was at Goose, went to Blue Point, and came back.
So how's that launch working out? There's no way that beer is here anymore.
This was a crew that it was a nautical themed crew out of New York, right? And Blue Point, and they did like an oyster fest, and they debuted with here it is right here, toasted lager and plum goza and a couple other beers. Their launch party was on Armitage at a place called Sink Swim, and I don't think that place is there anymore.
Oh, that was a fun place. That was right next door to Scofflaw.
Scofflaw. That's the joint that does the cookies at like 11,
Yeah,
right?
that place both those places were good.
Good winter options.
Yeah.
Both of those places. But that was this week.
Yeah, I remember
This week in beer.
I remember them launching, and then it might have been her or someone else being like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna try to push their oyster stout in Chicago," and I was like, "No one in Chicago wants a oyster stout."
It's in general, it's a very odd concept. I can remember Half Acre and Floyd's had a collab oyster stout, And I just remember it because the members of Floyd's, like you see images of Nick Floyd and Gabriel like on the label.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is an oyster stout though. Like I don't really nothing about this. I don't understand oyster stout, so it was too advanced for me.
They're neat to have, but as we live in the Midwest here, like never eating oysters, right? Like,
I mean, there are some fresh seafood joints that will sell you some oysters.
You're not eating them as much as anyone on either coast.
It's not a casual thing, I don't think, right? I think it's more of a steakhouse thing.
Yeah, so if I saw oyster stout or the White Sox lager, I'm not getting this.
Easy money.
Yeah.
Easy money. Yeah.
Chicago is a yellow beer drinking town. Like,
yeah. I would say it is not a casual oyster spot. Nah. You know how like they had those pop up what do you call it, crab roll joints?
Oh yeah.
We don't have a ton of those here. Shit like that. Casual stuff. We don't have stuff like
It's
that.
not like seafood's like, if you're gonna get seafood, you either go fancy or you're in the suburbs and you're going like Red Lobster kind of thing. That's the like two
Cheddar
extremes.
Bay biscuits.
That's the two extremes.
That's
of this.
upscale right there, bud. Let me get 4 shots of Maker's Mark and bring another round of these goddamn biscuits.
Those biscuits are great.
Let me snatch. Can I grab this lobster? Let me grab this lobster out the tank. Let's fucking party. Act a fool at Red Lobster, man.
Not as fun as Benihana though. Benihana's blast.
Man, because there were none. For a long time, there were none. And now there's
Red
one.
Lobster or Benihana?
Benihana. I don't know where Red Lobster is. But there were no Benihanas in the city for a long time. But there's one at Hancock. At the Hancock building. There's one in the base.
Oh, there is?
There's one there. That's the only one.
They're great.
It's a fun ride, man. If you say, let's go to Benihana's tonight, I'll be like, I got some time. I would go to Benihana's right now.
You're drinking some acai. Watch them flip some shrimps into their hat. That's it. It's a roll.
I'm a simple guy, man.
I don't even know. Oh yeah, Blue Point. Blue Point. I don't think that's going well. But then we have Rhinehouse.
Rhinegeist from Cincinnati is making their launch pretty soon.
So they're launching here. Are they gonna have a better go? What was our last big launch?
I tell you, they
Who Blue Point was a while ago. You said 2017, but there was somebody that came in not too long ago.
even like your Oscar Blues or who was the last? That was some years ago.
Yeah.
Who was the last big one that made their appearance here? The problem is, like we said, regional players are already here. There's over 100 breweries in the state. It's competitive. It's just a difficult thing to do.
Even Bell's has a hard time after they left because of that Oberon, thing with the distributors or whatever it was. Them coming back, they lost a lot of ground, and people just people drink it because it's Oberon or something. Bell. It's not as I don't know. There's better Chicago, Illinois options.
Yeah, the gap has been bridged for sure. Rhinegeist. What do we know about Rhinegeist? They're from Ohio. We do know that.
They're the second brewery in Ohio.
IPAs, sours, and the barrel age program. They were on my fantasy team for FOBAB, where I struck all the way out. I got no medals. The Rhinegeist was part of that. But people are excited. I tell you, people, and I was actually telling the Rhinegeist folks this. I was like, people from Ohio that I talk to, the Jackie O's and fucking Rhinegeist are the crews they bring up the most.
Okay.
Just about being in Chicago and shit that they miss from Ohio. Those crews always come up. So, I would definitely give them a dance. See what's going on. In fact, we're probably going to drink it on the show when it gets here. So.
No, I'm down to try it because, maybe I had it at FOBAB, but how else would I have had it? So,
yeah. Yeah, also that. Yeah.
So that's cool. March 1st is the launch, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's happening, and then we're talking about like Illinois beer and Chicago beer. There's like laws that the guild is trying to change. The guild is trying to like use their force, use their like money that they
They're not just a crew that
drinks together.
charges you $90 for a blind mixed 4-pack. They're not just that crew. It's probably bombers. So it's not just a mixed 4-pack. Probably a 12-pack. But the 4-week period from January 31st until February was the weakest since the pandemic for Illinois brewers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're looking to get the laws rechanged.
From what dates again?
January 31st.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
surprising. Even after dry January.
Yeah. So, actually, I got that wrong. The 4-week period that ended January 31st.
Oh,
So from the holidays to January 31st.
well, yeah, dry January.
But shit, it's still the holiday season, though. You know?
I don't know. It's a weird time. But,
Yeah. But they're saying they need to make a change in antiquated laws. So that's the guild's primary focus, and the parties are just the other thing they do. The Brewers Economic and Equity Relief Act. So it's beer, BER. Right.
Clever.
Yeah. So real quick, 300 breweries in the state are going to benefit from this. God damn, nearly 300 breweries stand to benefit from this legislation.
Who's the ones that don't?
There's
There's like two of them. They're like, no, we don't want this.
300 are in, 7 are not. High level, there's 3 main bullet points to this act that they want to pass in state legislation: permanent consumer delivery, direct consumer shipping, and limited self-distribution for brew pubs. So apparently there's 150 brew pubs in the state, and they want to have those brew pubs work with local retailers and start distributing products.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's through crowlers or something, right? Or straight up packaging.
I think every brew pub had to get packaging. But crawlers are nice, but no one really wants them, right? Like 32 ounces.
It's a lot. If it's a cool beer,
Right.
Like if it's, I think Half Acre had Catch Hell, their stout from last year, in a crowler. And I'm like, bring it on. Give me 32 ounces of that. But what do you want? What else? Because you got to drink it in a week.
Right.
So
You got no one to share it with.
you're going to wait. You're going to be so trashed.
So everyone packaged.
Yeah.
If you're a brew pub and you're not packaging right now, you're probably out of business.
Permanent consumer delivery is going to be huge. You can go, sounds like you can go direct to consumers.
Okay.
You can hop in your van,
And deliver it. That's what
Brad Nick's Brewery can go straight to every home in the state.
That's what On Tour does. They do self-delivery.
Yeah.
And that's, I think the also spin should be like a lot of jobs. Like all these breweries are going to need to either hire a delivery person or have someone there that's like, hey, sometimes you're working, the bar, and sometimes you're working delivery. Like it's just another job.
Yeah. Take your ass to Palatine today and don't come back until all this beer's gone. Direct to consumer shipping. That's what the bourbon industry's doing. They bypass they bypass everything, and they're just like, hey, you want this rye whiskey here? We'll ship it directly to your house from Kentucky.
Okay.
So that happened this year. So
Nice.
I think the pivot is needed because this is the reality. Like wineries have been doing this for the longest. You can get wine shipped from Napa all the live long day.
Right. So
So.
I bet this gets passed, or at least maybe in most cases. I don't know. I think the delivery and the shipping thing is like a must.
Yeah. And then it kickstarts the local economy too, which is kind of a big deal. And, we talk about it a lot, man. The local economy is failing. If I go downtown for whatever reason, those spots that were open all night are closing at 2 in the afternoon, man. We're
Right.
done. We're not staffing people. A lot of shit's it's desolate. It's fucked up.
Sure.
So
And I think with the delivery too, everyone got lazy as hell during this. And if you could get beer delivered on a Saturday night or Friday night from the brewery, you're like, I'll call Three Floyds. They'll have it here in an hour or so.
yeah, and then people were complaining. Restaurants or retailers were complaining about like the upcharge that your DoorDash or Uber or whoever's giving them. In this way, they can, they can bypass all that. And if they want to have their own infrastructure and deliver shit themselves, that's an option for them.
I would hope so because those DoorDash and Grubhub are the worst.
Yeah.
It sucks ordering from them because sometimes food doesn't show up for hours. It's like,
Shit is
my
real,
only
man.
option here.
So good for them, man. Good for them recognizing the need and then helping consumers and local businesses get their shit together and everybody get closer together.
That's great. Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
No, man. Shout out to Hot Butcher. They had that banana chocolate thing that we're probably going to visit if we're still standing.
We're drinking a 5% beer. We should be. We should be good.
Banana Graham Imperial Stout brewed with banana and chocolate. And, we were talking about how Hot Butcher was, because, I think the Fuck Your Hair, the One City Films project that those guys we had on the show about the Five Rabbit beer, I think it went to Hulu recently because my buddy is like, yo, have you seen this?
Oh, that's cool.
I don't want to be like...
I haven't watched it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So. Oh, yeah. So it's only like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
But I think it just hit Hulu. And
Nice.
I was like, well, Five Rabbit closed recently, and that's when I realized that Hot Butcher was brewing part-time at Five Rabbit.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, they should just buy Five Rabbit the same way that Phase 3 bought Lake Zurich Brewing.
Oh, okay. It might be is it too big for Hot Butcher?
It's a big space. And then also, Phase 3 is like, is knee-deep in, like, fruited sours and barrel-aged beers and non-barrel-aged adjuncts. Mm-hmm. And so I'm excited that if this is good, then Hot Butcher's... Because Hot Butcher's primarily focusing on just IPAs.
Yeah.
So they're probably like, well, is that justified buying our own space? Or should we just keep brewing at Miskatonic? I don't know. But if that's good and they keep improving on stouts, just buy Fire Rabbit.
Okay.
And fucking people will come. If Hot Butcher opens their own brewery, people will come.
People come.
Yeah.
All right. So you went and got that. And, yeah, we're going to drink it on a YouTube video that will be up on the channel. So if you're not watching those, I think I also upload them to Facebook. But check them out on YouTube because I have a backlog of stuff too from some that we've done.
We can roll them like every week, just like it'll be like pictures on IG.
Yeah, but there's gonna be some old ones that are gonna come up, and they'll be like, "Wait, when was that?" Oh, that was like October of last year. So there'll be some throwback beer reviews, but the timeless.
I like that.
Anything else happen? Anything else to pick up or do?
I think that's about it, Brad.
Yeah, I hope to make it over to Goose Island to at least pick up that double hazy DDH thing that they got going on.
Yeah, they got a couple of them.
And that'll probably be like my main stop or pick up. And then I did pick up some of the Revolution Riot that is the Keller pills.
Keller pills.
Yeah. So I'm excited to try that because I have a lot of double IPAs, triple Beezers at home where it's like, I end up drinking like half of it and like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Half Acre, man. Their double barrel catch hell came out this week.
Oh, man.
And I don't know if that's I don't know if double barreling is a thing that they typically do. But, Goose has had one, Rev's had one. And theirs is Four Roses barrels.
Cool.
The double barrel catch hell. The code name on that was Doom Stout.
Oh, neat.
And then, 9 months in one barrel, and then 12 months in another barrel. Both Four Roses barrels. So that's going for bottles of whiskey. That's like, give me $140 or this bottle of whiskey.
Nice. Did Flossmoor Station have a beer called Catch Hell or something Hell?
That's a throwback name right there.
That was like super sought after. I think it might have been a Brian Shimko beer.
I remember Killer Kowalski.
Yeah, and then I thought there was like barrel aged Catch Hell or something that they had.
The only two places I've been where if you order a flight, they give you the whole around the world. They give you every single beer on draft. One is Russian River. Mm-hmm. The only way to get a flight is to get every single thing.
It's a pretty awesome flight though.
And then the other place is Flossmoor Station. You order a flight, they give you every single beer they had. They come out with like
they had Wood in Hell.
Wood in Hell.
Wood
Okay,
in Hell.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having a Flossmoor barrel aged beer.
I wouldn't mind revisiting Flossmoor at all if they're
Yeah.
still. I think they're probably still open. I bet the Flossmoor community kept them going,
Yeah.
and they sold like every food you could ever want.
Oh, dude, it's like a full-on restaurant. Yeah.
So, Catch Hell came out from Half Acre. I gotta look I gotta look to see when they're the Hop Part 2.
double barrel Catch Hell.
Right? Is it Hop Part 2? The Revolution.
On and on part 2.
On and on. I don't even know.
Just a bit outside.
It was one of those hoppy beers, though.
What was it? A rye stout, barrel aged
Okay.
Imperial Rye Porter. It was nice, man.
So that, because we have some cans and we're waiting to do part 1 and 2 together.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff.
All right, let's get in. We're going to wrap this up, get into this Bananagram. Nick, where can people find you? Get in touch when we're not here.
Right on, man. I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
And I'm on Twitter at BRAD, Chicago Beer Pass, Twitter, Instagram. We got some Instagram lives up there.
Hell yeah.
Nick and I ramble about, we do the show, but in a shorter, more rambly format.
If we keep it within 7 minutes, I feel like we're doing good. We're doing good.
It's after we do the show, after we have another beer, then we have a beer, and then we go live. So check that out on Instagram.
And then Brad can tell me about his Wolverines or whatever the fuck he's got on his shirt here.
Oh,
man.
yeah, I don't know.
It's like some sort of forest creature all over his shirt.
Coyotes. But we'll be back probably next week with another episode. Take care.
Cheers.